Uh, First off, I want to welcome you to the Curtis S. Reed Scout Reservation Leaders Meeting for 2025. My name is Rich Stockton. I am the Reservation Director. Super excited to be headed back to Reed this summer. I can't think of a better place that I'd rather spend 10 weeks of summer than in the Adirondack Mountains. And so we're super excited that you're coming to come to camp and that you've selected us to be your summer camp provider this summer. They're very honored by that. First up, we want to make sure that you have an excellent experience. Um, to make sure that that happens, organization is critical to that. You having a plan and sharing that with your scouts and your families. One of the things that we've found out here in the last couple of years is that we have a lot of parents that get very worried about sending their children the first time to summer camp. And so having a plan, letting them know what that plan is, letting them know, your confidence in the program really does help, really will help cut some of those apron strings of getting some of those younger scouts to come to camp. So having a plan is real important, and then sharing that plan. Please review the leader's guide, even if it's your first time or if you've been coming for 50 years. Take a look at it. Sandy does edit that. It's even already been edited a couple of times this year, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But there is some big changes, especially in a lot of the merit badge requirements this year that have changed from the National Council, and so we try to get that stuff updated the best that we can as we go. From September to the next camp, and have a good attitude. We try hard to make sure that we're here to help you. And if you can have an attitude of understanding that, hey, sometimes things don't work perfectly. The best plans will get a snag, but we're here to help. We want to help, especially Sandy and I. That is really our job, is to pre-camp, make sure that things work for you, and then at camp, make sure that we're there to make sure that your scouts and that you have a great experience at Curtis Reed. And ask questions. Again, if we don't know if you have a question, or if we don't know that you have a problem, we can't fix that. So please make sure that you ask questions. Just some contact information before you get to camp. So pretty much before June, up until June 1st, Sandy and I will be at the service center for the most part in Fishkill, and our email addresses are there, phone numbers. If there's anything that we can help you with, please feel free to contact us at the Fishkill office before about June 1st. And then after about June 1st, Sandy and I will be up at Curtis Reed. We've added Chris O'Connor on there again for being the ranger. He's got a lot of in-depth knowledge about the property, and so if you have any questions about those kinds of things, Chris is obviously the best person to contact. So some changes for 2025. Get these up and out for you. Activities. The program schedule does have some changes. There's more options on the program schedule during the activity times each day. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Advancement, there has been some changes to the merit badge schedules. These were posted in the latest leaders guide, so make sure that you're looking at that leaders guide. And there are more merit badge combination classes, meaning you might work for 2 days on one merit badge and 3 days on another in the same merit badge time slot, so that not every merit badge really is a 5-day merit badge. Sometimes they're less, and we're trying to put merit badges that make sense together so that people don't have to change schedules and have a bunch of dead time. So trying to help with that. And again, medicals, medications, other kinds of forms, all the youth medication and any medical form not already sent in needs to be brought to waterfronts when you get to camp. So this is something for when you get to camp. All the medical information this year will be done at the waterfronts again. That's where you'll take your medications. That's where you'll take any medicals that you haven't brought in, and our health people will be there to go through that with you. And then again, one of the things that Sandy spends a lot of time making sure that she keeps totally updated is on the website, where you can get the forms, at ghvscouting.org /read/forms. Everything is there. All the different kinds of things that we're going to talk about are there. The leader's guidebook, the parent book will be there in about a week to 2 weeks. The parent guidebook will be available. So that's a great bookmark to have. One of the new things we're going to have this year is we're going to have mountain bike rentals, new for 2025. You'll be able to rent a mountain bike. This is if we have had a lot of scouts that really would like to take a crack at some of the trails around camp, and so you'll be able to rent a mountain bike for 1 day for $25 or 2 days for 50, or you can just rent the thing for the whole week for $60. And so we're trying to have some options there available for you. All rentals will include a helmet. Remember that you have to wear a helmet on the property. Some scouts may want to bring their own helmet if they're going to rent a bike, just because they have a helmet that they like. Pickup and drop offs are going to be before dinner at Summit, and so Summit will be handling that for the most part. And then we do have a limited supply, but so if you're interested in a mountain bike rental, get those done on the website. Some of the things with activities that we talked about, the schedule changes. So last year we instituted the program time from 4 to 5:30. We are going to have that again this year. So classes will run from 9 to 12. And then from 2 to 4 in the afternoon, and then there'll be that activity fun time, so that kids can be kids and enjoy camp from that 4 to 5:30 time period. Review that. Please review carefully and note that fees and ages and requirements as you're signing anybody up for a merit badge. Sometimes there's a fee for something, and we don't want somebody to be caught by that. And there also sometimes is an age limit. So for example, welding has an age limit on it. Shooting, the 22s have age limits on it. Things like that. So please be sure that you're looking into that when you're signing up your scouts for merit badges. Activities for all the scouts, you are going to receive a program schedule in your Scoutmaster packet on at the meeting on Sunday. What that is that's going to be those free times, that 4 to 5:30 time period, and in the evening. So you'll get a schedule when you get there on Sunday that will be able to tell you what's going to happen during those time periods, so that you can plan with your scouts. That's also a great time for horse trail rides. At Summit Base, they'll be doing mountain biking trips, the climbing tower, zip line, low cope. Just a great time to hike Mount Stevens, during those free times. We will have the triathlon on again this year. There'll be some open chutes. There'll be some kind of open waterfront every day at Buckskin or Wabika. Not always both, but there'll always be some kind of waterfront activity open. And activities at the different program, there'll be some different kinds of activities, such as beach volleyball, the action archery where you shoot the discs, tie dyeing, different things like that. Things that just sort of make camp that aren't necessarily merit badges or something like that. They're just having fun, like playing ultimate frisbee on the front lawn of one of the camps. Fun activities where scouts can be scouts and work off some of that energy, so that hopefully they sleep at night for everybody. Activities for older scouts. So if you have those 14, 15-year-olds that are coming, they're maybe helping you as a senior patrol leader or something like that. There is, high rope cope for them. 80K challenge in the afternoon, Operation Nighthawk on a couple of nights. The STEM badges over at STEM Ranch, and again this year, week 5. This is an individual thing. We're going to be hosting a wilderness survival camp. We're going to talk about that here in just a second, but a cool activity there, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. And they're just going to be also some activities for adults. We want you to be able to spend some time with those other Scoutmasters and friends that you have that you're at camp with. And we're well aware that it's your vacation. You need to have a good time too, and so we're going to have some things planned for you. Merit badge changes for 2025. Talked a little bit about this earlier. We did a re-look at all of our class attendance numbers across the reservation. And so some of those have been changed. Some have been made smaller. Some maybe we've added a spot or two, but we have gone through all the merit badges and worked on that. That was one of the big tasks this year. We do have some of these new double merit badge periods that we talked about. Soil and water conservation, for example, is now paired with plant science merit badge. Exploration is going to be paired with geocaching. So we're trying to make things that make sense together, where a scout can earn a couple of merit badges in the same time period. Those of you that didn't know, the Boy Scouts of America, Scouting America has uh, no longer is going to have the BSA lifeguard program. It has been phased out for the entire country. December 31st was the last day that BSA lifeguard was an active program for Scouting America. And so if you have people who are traditionally, would like to take BSA lifeguard or something like that, that is not going to be an option at any scout camp this year. So it's just not a program that we offer anymore. There are going to be quite a few merit badges that we offer that have gone through merit badge changes from the National Council. They do that about every 5 years or so. Please make sure that you're double checking the newest leader guide for the specifically requirements that are not taught at camp, some things that we just can't teach. One of the older examples of this is the 20 days and nights in camping for a camping merit badge. That's always been something we can't teach because you're not there for 20, we're not there for 20 nights. That's not something that we can sign off on. So please make sure that you review that. Week 5, we're going to have this specialty camp, and we're pretty excited about that. In the past, we've had Eagle Week, and Eagle Week has moved, and it's going to be part of the Camp Bolowa program this year down in Rockland County. So if you have scouts that are interested in some Eagle merit badges, have them check out the Camp Bolowa website and what they're doing this summer, because that's where we've moved the Eagle Camp. And what we're going to have week 5 is we're going to have year 2 of the Wilderness Survival Instructor Camp. This is a super specialty camp. We have a camp staffer who has taught wilderness survival to Army Rangers and to Navy SEALs. He is an expert at this, and he has a 20-person limit course. Ages you have to be 14 to any age you want. It's an individual course. It's very in depth. It's not about just earning a merit badge. It's gonna you would be able to teach, obviously, wilderness survival merit badge coming out of this course. It's a week long, super in depth and very educational. And so if you're interested, you need to sign up for this as an individual person, but you sign up for this on our website. And if you have people that are really interested in wilderness survival, assistant scout masters, parents, whatever, this is a really cool course. So please check that out in the newsletters as we go forward this year. How to sign up for camp. This is where Sandy's going to get involved, and I'd like to introduce our business manager, the person you probably all talk to more than anybody pre-camp. And good evening, Sandy, and why don't you give us an update on how to sign up for things?
Hey, everybody. So most of you have already sent in your $200 site deposit, which is awesome. So I've set up your account on the website, and I've sent you some emails already, and hopefully that's how you knew to come here tonight. The $100 per scout deposit, I've already had some troops starting to get on top of that. That can be paid through March 31st in order to guarantee your early bird rate. That's the first step for the early bird rate of $6.45. And new this year, there's also a $50 per adult deposit. It's really important that I know about who's coming to camp and how many adults you're bringing to camp. And many years, this has been super last minute, but with our new food service company, I really need to know how many mouths we're feeding. So for your free leaders, I do have a wonky system, and I didn't have a choice but to ask you to put that deposit in, but you can use your site deposit funds, and then I will pop it right back into the account. Your free leaders are still free. And again, that's by March 31st. Balances to be paid by May 15th. Any scouts just joining your troop this year, of course, they have more time to decide. They don't get a late fee. And then merit badge signups. Anybody with their deposits in by March 31st can start registering for classes on April 1st. And just a reminder that merit badges and activity signups are all for the individuals. There's no, you can't book a slot of 15 spaces. It's all per person. All right, so how do we get into the system? So the first thing we do is we go to our website, which is ghvscouting.org, and you're going to sign into My Council, which is in the top right. If you don't have an account yet, that's okay. Just create one. And then don't forget, after you're creating an account for the first time, or maybe you've got a new email that you want to use, shoot me an email at ghv.camping@scouting.org so that I can attach you to the to your troops registration so that you can see all the details and do all your registering that you need. Once you're logged in, you'll see your unit there, and you'll see your camp registration. So I put it in there again. If you didn't let me know that you've set up your account, email me. Don't forget, anytime you email me, also, please put your troop number and your community. So the first thing you want to do for your summer camp season is make sure that your website roster is updated. So even if you're a GHV unit, our website is not connected to my.scouting.org, so your kids are not automatically populated. All right, so you're going to click on roster, and then you can start to add or edit. There's a button there. We highly encourage, especially for your first time, or if you've, hopefully had a huge onslaught of crossovers. There's a spreadsheet to get all the information in there, nice and easy. So there's the template file there. And I know you could pull most of the information in a report from Scoutbook these days, but it doesn't pull the adults' dates of birth. So you got to make sure you get those separately. That's a security thing from National. Once you get your spreadsheet filled out, everything nice, then you can upload it. A couple of options for uploading. Everything is listed there. If you've got data in there, you want to just refresh it completely, or if you want to, what to do with your duplicates. All right, so once your roster is all set, then you're going to click on registrations. From there, you can, from there or from your page where your troop was, your first My Council page, you could just click on your registration right there. And then once you get to this page, this is your dashboard. This is your main hub. This is what you're going to be using for the next 6 months. So my recommendation is to save it as a favorites tab. It's just a lot less clicks once you turn your computer on and open up your browser. All right, so from your options on the left-hand side, we're going to click on members and then add new. But also real quick, I got to take this opportunity to plug my hand crank ice cream because it's delicious and I bought brand new machines last year. So for all of my leaders who want to have a night of ice cream on their own, but they don't want to sit there and turn the crank, don't worry. We now have an electric option. So to order your ice cream through your website, just above where the members is highlighted in blue is the word options, and that's where you can reserve your hand crank ice cream night. All right, so for adding members, now you could do this one at a time, or you can do this as a bundle. It's very easy. You want to change the bubble to minimum payment. You want to change the quantity to whatever number you want, and then you're going to click on save. Now, before you click on save, you can decide if you're using your group account balance. As I mentioned, we have that deposit due for the leaders, so I would recommend using it for that and then letting me know so I can put it back in your account. Otherwise, it's just kind of nice to have it there as a buffer. So then you'll click save. And then you'll get to your order, your order cart. So on your order cart, you'll see the red box that says add information. That's what you'll need to do in order to proceed. But I also want to tell you about the where it says apply discounts. That's where you would enter the word sibling for any sets of siblings that you have. And that would be for each scout. So if the parent has 3 kiddos in your troop, then you're going to save $150. All right, so you'll click on the add information and it'll take you to the next page where you can use the magic button populate since you've already put everybody in your roster. Populate is your friend, so you don't have to sit here and type it all in now because you've already got it in there. So you hit populate, everything shows up, and then you'll hit save. All right. I get a lot of questions about, hey, how do my parents get into their portal? We don't have parent portals. The troop is responsible for registering their scouts. Now, some parents want those bonus points on their credit card so that they can, get their fancy robe during their cruise or whatever. So during your troop meetings, have some, 1 or 2 people maybe set up a computer, enter all the information in, and then pass the computer over for the parent to enter in their credit card or their bank account information. Now I can add as many people as you want to have access to your troop registration, but I don't think you want every parent to have access to every child in your roster because that's what they'll have access to, not just their own child. So just a reminder that nobody calls the office with a credit card because your online registration system can take all the credit cards, all the account numbers, things like that. And for parents that have scouts attending with a troop, I'm going to tell them I can't take their credit card. If you wanted to send me a bunch of checks from the parents in your troop so that you don't have to deposit them first and then send me a troop check, that's totally fine. We can process checks in the office. Now for parents that, their scout's going to come to camp with you guys for a week, but then stay for an extra week, they would do that registration online for the additional weeks because that wouldn't be a troop registration. Okay, so back in your dashboard, now that you've added some members, they're going to be in your roster. And you'll see that each of them will have a view button next to them. And once you open up, once you click on that view button for an adult, this is where you would tell me how many days they're staying and what days they're staying. So you'll see the edit. On the bottom row, you're going to see where it says free leader full week. The other options in there are free leader for how many days they're staying or paid leader for how many days. And then, for those that are not staying a full week, you could tell me Monday to Wednesday or, Sunday to Tuesday, whatever it is. For your scouts and for your leaders, the important tab that you're going to want for April 1st is the activities tab. So you'll go over to the activities tab and then you'll press the blue button that says add remove activities. And then as you start selecting them, they're going to show up on the left, and then the list on the right is going to start to get shorter. So it's going to remove classes or sessions that no longer fit in the schedule because of what you've already selected. So it's kind of nice. So you'll see how quickly it fills up. And back to Rich.
All right. Thanks, Sandy. So some of you have been putting things in the chat. Sandy's now going to start working through those so that she can answer them. And then if we don't get to your question, we can talk about that at the very end. So for the next section, I'm going to talk a little bit about medical updates, camperships, leader responsibilities, food service, and the ongoing Camp Wabika cooking project. We'll talk a little bit about that. So some generalized information. Please remember that a unit you have to have two deep leadership. Please remember that all your adults have to be registered in Scouting America in your troop. Cannot have anyone stay overnight that is not registered in a troop. That is a Scouting America requirement. We do have cell phone coverage on the property. It is spotty the farther up the road you get, but there is good cell phone coverage at most of the main camp areas in camp. So McIntyre Pavilion, the front area of the office in Wabika have very good coverage. Good coverage at Stem Ranch. At the in Buckskin, the dining hall has very good service. Trading Post in front of the office, those kinds of areas all have very good coverage, and then Summit around their office have coverage. If your phone is on uh, Wi-Fi calling, you'll be able to call right through the Wi-Fi and should not have a problem. We also have enough internet coverage so that if you want to work, if you're somebody who need to work remotely for a couple of days or whatever, you can certainly do that at camp also. So wireless internet is available, limited, but it is available, and you should be able to work without any problem. Trading Post, we've done some restocking this year, and some new things are available in the Trading Post. And please remember that for us, the Trading Post is just a store. It's a place that's there to generate income, and that's we try to put things in there that people want to obviously purchase. And we do take cash, troop checks, credit cards are also accepted. And in the Trading Post, not at the office, but in the Trading Post, there will be no 3% convenience charge. It's a straight up, what the price is what the price is in the Trading Post. Um, so for parents, you can let them know that. Um, let's talk about some medical information now. Medical forms. Everybody needs to have an ABC BSA medical form. It must have a parent and a physician signature, or the adult and the physician signature. Um, as you're looking through your medicals, before you send them in to us, please make sure that you look to make sure that the parent signed it and the doctor has signed it on that Part C. Those are the things that our health people and the Department of Health is looking at. So anybody staying overnight has to have a physical. That is not an option. If you're staying more than 1 week, you must also have a meningitis form, and all the forms as a group cannot be uploaded. We do not take. We are not an electronic records location, and the reason is, if you think about it, when things happen at camp, a lot of times they happen when the power goes down, which does happen. And if everything was electronic records for us, we would be in trouble because we would not be able to have medical records. So we would really, the only way to bring medicals to us is to bring them in a 3-ring binder. We would like you to just put everybody that's in your troop are going to be even at camp, put them alphabetically. Write your troop number and the name of your community. So Troop 1 Hawthorne, let's say, on the front of the book and on the binder, so that we can just put that up on a shelf. And if something happens, we can pull that right off and get right to the medical and get somebody emergency services. I know that for me personally, I want to make it as easy as possible for my medical people to get to my medical, because if something happens, I want them to do the best they can for me. So that's our goal for all of you. As a reminder, over-the-counter medication, the New York State Department of Health does not allow my staff to provide over-the-counter drugs. We are only allowed to dispense prescribed medication in the original package. So we cannot give a scout a Tylenol. My medical people are EMTs, and they, according to the Department of Health, they are not allowed to do that. Only a legal guardian or a parent can administer an OTC. So just please be aware of that. Little more medical information. All scouts and adults must have all their forms. Again, they've got to be completely filled out and signed, even if you're only staying for one night. need to make sure that you indicate your allergies or any special conditions so that if something does happen, we can make sure that you get the medical attention that you need. And there is no substitution for the Part C. Sometimes we will get somebody will have a sports physical and they just won't include the Part C, and they'll put the sports physical in. We have to have that Part C. They can put the sports physical as page 4, but we still need that Part C that has a signature from the doctor. If you've already had a physical, most doctors' offices will sign that form based on the previous physical that you've had. It is required to be on the property. That is by order of the of Scouting America and the New York Health Department. And again, just a reminder, all medications have to be in their original containers. Please don't bring the Monday pills, Tuesday pills, in a little box like we would give to our senior parents. That the health department does not allow that. They have to be in the original containers. And we're also not able to provide any kind of personal transportation to you or your scouts. We don't have that ability. If for some reason you have a scout that needs some kind of transportation, something like a golf cart or something like that, please contact us, and we can give you or the parent a name of someone who they might be able to get something like that for the week that they're at camp. These are also only for people who have some kind of physical issue. It's not a everybody at camp needs to show up with a golf cart. This is for people who can't get around, and needs some assistance. Sandy's going to talk a little bit about the fee schedule again, just as a secondary reminder.
Okay, so deposits, $100 per scout, $50 per leader, are due by March 31st. Then by May 15th, you want to make the payments in full. This guarantees everybody gets their early bird discount and that I don't have to start popping late fees on. Discounts. You're going to use the second week scout option for those that are coming for 2 weeks. And the sibling option is for all of the siblings involved, not just the second or third one. Refunds and cancellations. Please be familiar with our policy. Deposits are non-refundable. There's certain timelines for how much money is able to be refunded, things like that. It's located on page 15 of the Leader's Guide. And a reminder, please do not have parents call the office with payments. If the scout is going with the troop, the payment needs to be made through the troop. I will not take credit cards over the phone for anybody for summer camp payments. And the late fee does not apply to the new to troop scouts. So now when May 15th rolls around and I start looking at everybody, I do check the kids' ages if I see that they're not paid in full. If I see that they're 10 years old or that they just turned 11, I'm not going to do the late fee because I'm like, oh, well, that's a crossover. But it's not just crossovers that join troops late in the year. So if I put a late fee on somebody, just shoot me an email and, be like, hey, actually, Joey would just join this year. He's new. I'll take it back off. It's cool. I'm easygoing. Oh, can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
Okay, sorry. Let's talk a little bit about camperships. Camperships are financial assistance for those that need assistance. It is a policy of the Greater Hudson Valley Council Board that if a scout wants to go to camp, we're going to do what we can do to try to help them through some financial assistance. Financial assistance, our camperships are available to all troops that are attending Curtis Reed. So any troop that is coming to Curtis Reed can be eligible for a campership. There's a new form this year. There is a new parent section. We are asking, please fill that out using the fillable PDF feature that is on the website, not handwriting. I have individuals who are trying to read these, and if they can't read them, sometimes some scouts don't get the amount of help that they need. and because they don't they can't read them, can't see the numbers or whatever. So please use that fillable PDF file. Forms are due by April 15th. If you turn your application, your campership in by April 15th, you will be considered for a full amount campership, which is half. We can pay up to 50% of camp if it's needed. But after that, those numbers traditionally go down because we start to honestly we run out of funds. Um, Once it's approved, the parents will receive a letter and the amount that's been granted to them. It will be posted online to their Scouts profile. So so we will do that as soon as we get that. The committee determines how much that they should get. And please know that sometimes we're not the units ask us who should be filling these camperships out. You as a leader, you do have to sign the campership because that's our check that the unit that somebody knows that the person filling it out really, there is a need there. And so you might fill the campership out as far as signing it, whatever, and handing it to a parent and then letting them fill it out and sending it in. They parent may not want you to see their basic financial need. That's understandable. Those forms are very, very tightly controlled within our office. But if you know a family that needs some financial assistance, please, send them the link and have them fill out a campership. We really do want everybody who wants to come to camp that have that ability. So let's talk about some leader responsibilities before camp. One is obviously managing the fees and the things that Sandy went through. It is an important part, and we understand that. The second part is that promotion part. I think most of you know that the field staff has been out doing camp promotions. We're trying to get our goal was to try to get to every single unit in the Greater Hudson Valley Council to talk to parents, kids, anybody, whether they've been coming to read or not, to let them know that we really do have a great camp and we want more people to come and experience. So if there's anything we can do, and we'll talk about promotion here in just a second, but really want to help you. Attend leaders meetings. You're doing that right now. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate that. Helping some families get those camperships. Getting your scouts registered for those merit badges starting on April 1st so that they get the things that they want. And then registering all of your adults online by the June 15th date so that we can make sure that we get those in for the New York State Health Department requirements, so that we don't have a problem when adults show up and we have to say, look, you can't stay because we weren't able to run you through the required New York State paperwork. So please help us out with that. Need to make sure that you submit your medical and dietary requirements a couple of weeks prior. The kitchen staff does look specifically at those, and we try to make sure that we're able to help with that. We're going to talk about food service here in a second, but really important that we get those turned in. And then any binders that you want us to look at ahead of time so that you don't have to wait as long at the waterfronts. If you get those sent to us a week or 2 weeks ahead of time, you can mail those right to Reed after June 1st, and our medical staff will look at them. They'll be ready, sitting at the waterfront for you when you show up. And then if you have somebody new or somebody who hasn't turned in their medical, you just have to bring that one or two, and we'll look through those and get you through much quicker. Help making sure that you arrange that transportation to and from camp. And then double and triple checking all your paperwork, making sure that your crossovers are registering your troops so that, everything on Scout Book works while you're at camp. So let's talk a little bit about once you're at camp, during camp. First thing is big change. Big change, ding, ding, ding. If you're asleep, wake up. Ding, 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 wake up. Big change. Check-in is now from 1 to 3 o'clock, and it's not going to be as it has been in the past where the gates are open and you just drive up and you can, park at Wabika or park in the Buckskin parking lot and be around. And we're not going to let you pass the ranger area. We're going to pull the gates and we have to keep you out. and there's a reason for that, and we're going to talk about that here right now. Um, Many of you know that we were visited last year at Curtis Reed by the Department of Labor, and the Department of Labor, uh, whether they understand summer camps or not, doesn't matter. They're the state, and they get to make rulings, and they have been helping us, but we have some new rules that we have to work under, and part of that is that our youth staff have only so many hours per day per week that they're able to work, and so we are now managing. We have to manage every single person under the age of 17's time so that we are not in violation of the law. And so part of that means that you're going to see youth staff at different times around camp that they're not working, that they're being kids, and they're sitting at the trading post, or they're in Staff City, or even playing football or something like that. They're going to have more downtime, because that is something that the Department of Labor has now required. Along with that, the other big change that's going to go along with this 1 o'clock check-in is the fact that none of our youth staff will be able to work on Saturdays. And so our check-out procedure on Saturday will be different. Um, Meaning that basically after campfire on Friday night, that's pretty much the end of what we would call program at camp. On Saturday mornings, checkout is going to consist of picking up your bag breakfast. A someone will visit your campsite whenever you say, and we'll get your gear out, and there'll be no program of any kind. There'll be no camp, no flag ceremonies, anything like that on Saturdays. All of that will now happen on Fridays. And so we're suggesting that you have your parents able to be there to leave sometime between 8 and 9 o'clock, 9:30 at the latest, because once your guys are up and packed and we get you to the parade ground for your camp, you're more than welcome to drive away. And so not a matter that we don't want you there. It's just a matter of we just labor wise don't have the hands to do some of the things that we used to do on Saturday. So something to think about. We'll be sending some information out about that later as camp gets a little bit closer. We would ask, when you come to camp, please park in the designated parking areas and in our parking lots, not on the roads. Um, Bringing your medication and any medical forms that you haven't turned in to the waterfront. Adhere to to the 2 deep leadership, making sure that we're watching our scouts. Confirm the merit badges and activity schedules at McIntyre in the dining hall with the camp management team. Um, Helping us to make sure that everybody has a wristband. That is all about safety, making sure that we know who's on the property, and if people don't have wristbands, helping us, just ask where theirs is so that we can make sure they're supposed to be there. Coming to leaders meetings so that we can make sure that we keep you updated on what's going on. Again, the supervision of scouts, super important throughout the whole week. If you're interested helping with a program, if you're interested in teaching a merit badge or something different like that, or helping out, love to have you anywhere in the program, or helping do a service project with the Ranger. Anybody who happens to be a carpenter, we have some big projects this summer. We're going to try to redo the backsides of all the latrines. So if you're inclined, we'll be looking for some help with that project. Taking time to fill out an evaluation. That is how we try to get better. And be prepared, for your checkout appointment on Thursday or Friday with Sandy. Bringing a check with you for that is always the best thing. That you don't have to pay that convenience fee, and Sandy can help you pretty quick to get things done and get in and out of her office. Some special forms that are on the Read Forms page, just so you know, the special needs accommodation form. The faster you can fill those out so that we can get those to our special needs committee, the better. The food and allergy dietary needs, please don't forget to fill that out. It's super important for our cooks. The merit badge schedule request form is on there. for your scouts to fill out so that you can get them signed up for merit badges. If you're inclined for whitewater rafting, that is on there. And then the merit badges not taught sign off form. Again, this would be like we talked about with camping, the 20 days and the 20 nights of camping, where you could fill that out, and that would allow the staff to sign that off when they're doing blue cards. Food service, we're super pumped. We have our food service company coming back at Buckskin again this year. This will be their third year, and we think they've really started to get a hang of what's going on for us. That food and dietary needs form, we can take care of vegetarians, lactose free, gluten free, pretty much with no problem. We're also a nut free facility, so that helps. But if there's some kind of medical allergy, making sure that they mark it down, and we'll do our best. Some things we can help with, some things we can't. So we have had some scouts that are so allergic and have such very specific diets that their parents have had to do some of the cooking. That works great in Wabika. At Buckskin, it's a little more difficult, but we've been able to work those things out. So we'll do our best on any needs that we have. Please remember that the dietary allergy meals, the vegetarian, we're making what we need. That's not a second option. It's not that, oh, I'm vegetarian on Monday and man, they're chicken nuggets on Tuesday, so I'm eating those chicken nuggets. If you're lactose or vegetarian or gluten, you're that all week long. It's not a play it by the day kind of thing. So if you can help us with that, we would appreciate it. And the faster you can get those submitted to us, the better. A couple of base information things. We get asked quite a bit what's in our campsites. Every Reed campsite will come with some kind of a shelter, some kind of Adirondack shelter for storage or for leaders to stay in, your choice. A picnic table or two, a latrine, and then it'll have tent platforms with tent and two cots with mattresses, a flagpole, depending a tarp or two, depending on the size, and then the metal job critter box for smellables and things like that. That is a locked thing that the leaders will have the key to. New this year, something that we've been asked for, and we're sort of piloting this year. That if you'd be interested in bringing your own tent, if you have your own tent and tents as your troop, and you'd like to do that, Voyager and Blackfoot campsites are going to in Buckskin are going to be basically non-setup, meaning we'll have them ready with picnic tables and things, but they are not going to have tents and cots and mats put out. We will give every scout in the campsite will give you a $50 discount for not for supplying your own tent. And so it'll be everything that's in the normal campsite, just no tent, no cot, and no mattress. So if you're interested in that, call Sandy, let her know, and we can certainly talk about this option with you. Those critter boxes that we talked about, every campsite will have one of the critter boxes at the same time. We will make sure that there's daily garbage pickup by your commissioners to make sure that we don't have any keeping the critters and the bigger critters out of the campsite areas. At Camp Wabika in the cooking area, it is troop cooking in our 4 cooking sites, and it will have garbage pickup after each meal. Those cooking sites, again, there are 2 in the Cascade campsite area, 2 in the Avalanche campsite area. Then Wolfjaw, Polaris, and Sunrise will eat in the Hurricane campsite, and then Haystack has its. We've been slowly putting in the 20 by 20 metal cooking shelters. We got a donation this year, and we'll be able to finish that project. And so Avalanche will get its second cooking shelter this year, and Haystack will get a cooking shelter this year. And so every single campsite will have its 20 by 20 cooking shelter in this year. So really excited about that. Inside for Camp Wabika, those cooking sites include the 2-burner stove, the grill and griddle attachment, the hot water turkey burner, and a Dutch oven table. There's also an equipment box, which has some upgraded cooking utensils, some pots, pans, plates, silverware, things that you need to be able to cook your food. You'll have 3 or more picnic tables available to you, a cooking prep table, a cleanup table, and obviously that covered dining area. Every single camp will have that. Every all the Wabika cooking areas now will have that. Promotion, again, all about trying to get everybody to be able to have that excitement of camp. We all know that no one joins scouting to sit in the church basement and learn how to tie a square knot. That may be super important, but that's not what they joined for. They joined to go camping and to be in the outdoors. And so we want everybody to be able to go. We have some videos online on our website. There's also presentation. We can do presentations at your meeting if you let us know. Dan Kniff is managing that process for the entire council. In fact, Sandy and I are going tomorrow to Syracuse to do presentations for the Longhouse Council. So we're excited to do that. We also could meet with Zoom, a PLC, a troop committee, or even just a family. If we needed to have somebody talk to somebody, we'd be willing to work through that for you. A lot of information on Facebook and on our website, and whatever we can do to help. We want to help promote camp. We really believe that this is the highlight of scouting, and we want as many scouts as possible to experience summer camp. We get asked often, how could you help us get ready for camp? Well, I'll tell you, this year we need your help. We need your help really bad. June 6, 7, 8, specifically on Saturday the 7th. If you have a handful of adults, older scouts that could come up like June 6th, stay the night, and help us on the 7th, we really need your help. We're honored this year. We get to host what they call National Camping School. It's where senior staff learn how to run camp, and we're hosting that at Reed this year. But that means we have to have Camp Buckskin basically 100% set up by June 10th. And so we really need people June 7th. And, if you get that on your troop calendar and come up and help us, it's 100% free. And we pay for the food. And sometimes the alumni have been able to provide T-shirts. And, we just really need help that weekend. And we'll take anybody and everybody that could help us. We have to do everything from set up tents to sweep out buildings. It's just a little bit of everything. So if you can come, that would be great. We're also still looking for some people. We would still look for a couple of 21-year-old aquatics directors, an assistant trading post manager, 18 plus, dining hall staff, specifically stewards that are 18 plus. We have jobs. If you have college students or seniors in high school and they're looking for something to do this summer, there's nothing better than being at Curtis Reed for 7 weeks and let us feed them and let us keep them busy, and then they come home for a couple of weeks to go on vacation with you, and then they go back to school. So we'd be more than happy to take them off your hands for the summer. So if you got people looking for something to do, please make sure you check out that ghvscouting.org/Reed staff, where we're super excited about having more staff. Just a reminder, the unit rewards program, we started this last year. And if you were at camp last year and you're starting this year, you will finish year 2 this year. So the first level of that means that if you've attended in 24 and you're attending in 25, that next year in 26, you will get to sign up for merit badges 1 week early. And then the next year, you will be getting a 5% per participant discount for coming to camp, and plus you'll get the sign up a week early. One stays with you as you go along. So starting to really get into where people are going to get some real benefits out of our rewards program. So make sure that you're looking at that the flyer is on our website, or if you have questions about the rewards program, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about that. And that's going to bring us to questions. So I'm going to turn off the PowerPoint here and bring all of your screens up now. Those of you that are on Zoom and know how, at the bottom there is a a little place that says react. If you click that, the bottom, very, very bottom thing says raise hand. It's a long button. If you do that, your a little box will pop up right next to mine, and I'll be able to call right on you. And if you can't do that, if that doesn't work for you, just unmute yourself and ask a question, and we'll get to you. So we're open for questions. Thanks for listening, and we're here. What can we help you with? Mary Jo, first out of the box.
I like to be quick.
There you go.
Hi. So on the PowerPoint, I think that I saw somewhere that the activities are individual sign up and not troop sign up. What activities do you mean on that front? Are we talking about like the zip line? Because I mean, I know we wanted to sign up as a troop. So does that mean as a troop, I can't sign everybody up, and each boy has to go on somehow individually to sign up?
Sandy.
It goes into each person's schedule. So you can and I'm happy to walk you through. I should add it to the PowerPoint. I'm going to add it to the PowerPoint next year. There is a way to go on our website through our calendar, go to your camp week, and there's a tab there where you can actually see all of the classes and how many people are signed up and things like that. So you can go there. For example, zipline. You've got 10 boys and three leaders that want to go. So you need space for 13 people. You can see which session still has room for 13 people, and then go sign up your people to and make sure that everybody's in the same group.
And is that
So
available?
again, I can walk you through exactly how to do that. You know what? I'm going to actually create a little guide for that and put it in my next newsletter. Because
And when does sign up
it's a
start
good
for the
spot.
activities? Is that also April 1st, or
Yep,
Yes.
everything's April 1st.
unless you're part of the rewards program and you're a week
That
before?
starts, yeah, that starts next year. Yeah.
Oh, next year. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fantastic. And I apologize. What are the activities that are available, and do you have any particular suggestions on things that our troops should be doing? And are the activities available? So I'm giving compound questions. Are the activities
okay.
available 4 o'clock and on, or?
Yep.
Okay.
So there are some activities. I think Zipline has a session and Low Cope has a session where you can actually do like a 2 o'clock. There's some troops that used to stagger. They'd have regular activities they do in the afternoons, and they'd have their kids take classes just in the mornings or something like that. Or if you have a lot of first year scouts that do the first year camper program, you can use Low Cope in the afternoon as like a troop bonding activity, something. But I know the
Horse
top
rides.
two, yeah, the top favorites are definitely horse trail rides, which you could do up to 9 people at a time, and then zip line for your swimmers. That's a really awesome activity. And I know you want to take pictures while your leaders are jumping in as well, because it's just super fun. And then definitely the climbing tower. We have a 60-foot climbing tower that is great for all skill levels. So you can find all of that in the leader's guide. If you go about 2/3 of the way through the book, you've got the merit badge schedules, and that's immediately followed by all the activities. And
Great.
it says where they happen to.
Perfect. And for the hike on the mountain, is that like a half a day thing? Is that what I recall correctly?
It is a
It's
couple hours that you want
It's
to
about
allot
3.
for it.
Yeah, we tell most everybody 3 hours, an hour to get up, hour to get back, hour on the top.
And the favorite time to be there is for sunset or for sunrise.
Yep.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful hike.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
Thanks.
Yep, absolutely. And I don't want to say it wrong. Is it Helena?
Yes, it's Helena.
Okay. What can we do for you?
I had to step away, and I'm not sure if you covered it. Do you do the swim test on Sunday after we check in right away?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. As soon as you get there, you'll meet with the camp leadership. Then they will start a tour. and then at some place on the tour, they end up at the waterfront with their medicals, medicine, that kind of stuff, and then that's when they'll do their swim test.
Perfect, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Other
Awesome. Well,
questions?
I can take this time real quick to just run through what we chatted about in the chat. So the PowerPoint, this PowerPoint as well as the recorded version of it are going to be posted to the website on the forms page. I'd say probably tomorrow, hopefully before we get on the road to head upstate for that presentation Rich spoke about. Our natural caves and our natural climbing walls are going to be surveyed late this spring so that we can make sure we can safely get on them for the summer. The medical forms, yes, definitely snail mail them to the office by June 1st if you can, or directly to camp after that. And I always recommend getting tracking on them. And never put food forms in them, not even a second set, because that will cause a panic later on. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to feel that package from FedEx. I'm going to know it's a binder, and I'm going to tuck it away in a safe place. I'm not going to open it.
Which means it won't, which means we won't give
Yeah.
it to the cooks.
I'm not the health officer. I don't review your medical binders. I don't crack that binder myself. And if you do put medical food forms in there that you've already sent me, 5 days before camp, when we open that, we're going to panic because we're not going to remember that the chef has them already. So please, they're separate entities. Also, get tracking on your medical forms because, like I just said, I'm not going to open it. I'm not going to remember that Troop 12 Pleasantville sent me their medical forms, and you're going to ask me. I'm going to be like, well, that's silly. Check your tracking.
And Chris is right. Have it say attention Sandy. That is correct.
Have it
Chris.
say attention Sandy so that Chris knows to put it in a safe spot in my office.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there an office for late night adult workers? Absolutely. I do recommend letting the camp director know if you feel you're going to be there, after 10 p.m. And also they can make sure that the staff lounge is cleared out on time so it's not noisy downstairs. But absolutely, that way you can be inside and get your work done and not disturb the rest of your campsite with your glowing. Let's see. The trading post does accept cash, troop checks, and credit cards. Our machines are also really cool where they could tap their phones. I don't know how to do that nonsense, but apparently Google Pay and Apple Pay are the way to go these days. And let's see. Ryan, your turn.
Yep.
Going back to the swim test, will you accept swim tests from other people doing it previously, or does it all have to be at your reservation at the lakefront when we check in?
So I do have a form on the website, and at this moment, I know I need to update it because they've changed things around a little bit with the waterfront rules. Like we said, they got rid of BSA guard, stuff like that. So I just need to review that with the gentlemen that know more about it than me. If the kids are taking merit badges at the waterfront, our waterfront directors have the right to retest them. If it's just a matter of going for open swim, that's different.
All right, so I can bring in, like, we're doing a whitewater rafting trip in May, and I'm setting up for April to do a swim test. I can bring the record for that and be reviewed. And
Awesome.
So Phil,
Yeah.
so Sandy we'll have a form up, and what we would ask you to do is fill the information out, have the person who's doing your swim test sign it. Then when you get to camp, you'll submit that to the aquatics director at that waterfront. They'll review it, and then I can, even as reservation director, the aquatics director has the ability to say whether they want you to get in the water or not. That is their waterfront, and so for safety reasons, it's up to them. Normally they accept those, but that would be my suggestion, Ron.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to my chat box. We are old school blue cards. Because we are in the Adirondacks and our Wi-Fi and stuff has gotten a lot better, but It's not perfect. We do lose power occasionally. So if we try to go online, it'll just be a bad situation. So we're old school, we're blue card. And also so that everybody here knows, I keep the records. I actually have to keep the records, but I do keep the records for 7 years for all merit badges earned at camp. So in December, when Joey realizes that he doesn't have his basketry blue card, he must have lost it. Just shoot me an email. I can look it up and I can send you a new blue card. Polar bear. I do not remember the days off the top of my head, but I know that I noted it after the merit badges in the leader's guide in the new activity schedules. So check Polar Bear Swim. It's definitely awesome. I'm definitely gonna have cute patches again this year. And let's see. Huh. Yes, medical form binders must say attention, Sandy.
By the way, Mark, you're right next to me. I can see you when you laugh about power outages. So just
Thank you, Mark. All right, drop off for Sunday. Okay. Just when you get off the highway near camp, there's Stewart's. Everybody loves Stewart's ice cream. So have your troop meet there or designate somewhere else.
or the town hall in Horicon. You can come around the bend. Town hall is right there. There's a park, a couple of big parking lots. A lot of units will meet there, and then you can come in. We will open up right at 1 o'clock. I'll be totally upfront. It's just a matter of hour counting, and I have to have some demarcation things for the state, and so that's one of the ways they have told me that I can do this. So,
but there, yeah. So
those are
those are some places where you guys can meet to get all together, so that you show up together. Oh, there's also a Dollar General, nice size parking lot there.
Yep.
Good place to get last minute snacks, so you could sit and eat if you're early. Yes, Crossroads. Plugging the local business, thank you. Crossroads is an amazing deli that is just off the main road on the way to camp. All right, let's see. The leader's guide does show what merit badge requirements are not taught at camp. I call them R&T for requirement not taught. And that is actually why I had to update the leader's guide after I sent out the initial one, because National made so many big changes. And I wanted to make sure I got with the program directors to get them correct. So it does show them there. All right. Oh, that's a good idea. There's a suggestion to have the scouts wear their bathing suits on the way to camp. Because the faster they get in line for the swim testing, the faster they get tucked in. So definitely they want to get those swim tests done right away. Cool. You know, there is actually one other thing I want to talk about for Arrival Day. A lot of parents like to bring their dogs. I love dogs. I have a dog. She's sitting right next to me, actually, on the bed, licking her paws. Dogs in camp, really, they poop a lot. Okay, let's just talk about that. They've been in the car a long time. They've got to go to the bathroom. I had one go right on the flagpole post. That's not cool. And not everybody likes dogs. Not everybody is able to be around dogs. So I need to ask, if your parents bring their dogs, they need to stay in the parking lot with them. There are kids with allergies. There's adults with allergies. And just like we have a nut-free dining hall, we want to keep everybody safe.
So they need to be on leashes no matter what. And
well, on leashes, definitely.
Yeah. And if they go to the restroom, it's like a park. You got to clean it up. So
you got to clean it up.
Just like we do with the horses. So, okay. Any other questions? Anything we can do? We don't want to keep you if you don't want to, if you don't have things to talk about. We want to thank you for coming. People are already bailing. All right. Well, Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate you being here. If there's things we can do for you, please let us know. We're so excited to see you in June and August, or July and August. And camp's going to be great. Super
Yes, I was
excited.
talking
So
to you.
whatever we can do to make it better for you, we want to. See you later.